Good morning, Standard 10 students. Now I will be explaining about how Portia has compared herself to a legendary Greek story or mythology. Okay. Because now the atmosphere has become very tensed. So here she says, now he goes with no less presence, but with much more love. In the legendary story, Alcides or Hercules went to save Hesione because he was going to be rewarded for horses. Here Bassanio is going to choose the casket on the basis of love. Okay. Then young Alcides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster. Now I'll explain the story, the Greek story. Okay, first I'll explain the Greek story and then I'll explain the similarity, why Portia places herself in that situation. Now in the city of Troy, Troy was built on a wall. Okay. It is a small island in just above Africa. So now in this area, what happened? The full city was inside the walls, and the sea monster. Every year, a young girl, an unmarried girl, has to be given to him as a sacrifice. Then no harm can come to the city of Troy. Now it so happened that one year the lottery fell on the king's daughter, Hesione, and she was now going to be sacrificed by the sea monster. Now, since the king's daughter was going to be sacrificed, the whole of the Trojan people, what we call it, the Dardanian wives, the women folks, all were watching from the rooftop or from the terrace or from the walls, and they were looking at when the sea monster will appear and take this girl. And at that time, Hercules, who was supposed to be the god of strength or the most strongest man on earth, according to Greek mythology. So he comes to rescue this princess. So everyone is watching in anticipation, in suspense, whether Hercules will be able to save this virgin from being devoured by the sea monster. Okay. So now what Portia has done is, now the sea monster happens to be the three caskets. Because it is as dangerous as that. Because Portia wanted to marry Bassanio, the man whom she loves. And her fear is that Bassanio shouldn't choose the wrong casket. Otherwise, she will lose him for lifetime. Now, on the other hand, when we look at Bassanio, Bassanio's entire life depended on that, of choosing the right casket. He wanted to know what would be the consequences, the results. Because if he chooses the right casket, then his money problem will be sorted out or solved. He would be able to clear all his past debts and he would be able to give back, return Shylock's 3,000 ducats, for which his friend is now as a guarantor over there. If he is unable to pay the money on time, then a pound of flesh will be taken from Antonio's body, according to Shylock's whims and fancy, whichever part he would want to be cut. So he was in great tension. Then she places herself as Hesione, the princess. Okay. And Hercules is Bassanio. Now the only person who could protect the princess is Hercules, and the only person who could solve Portia's problem is Bassanio. So that is why she compares herself to that legendary story. The situation, the mental tension that she is undergoing through. Okay. Now it is a similar situation like I told you. When you are about to get your report card, then what happens? You are marking buttons. You are keeping your fingers crossed. Let's hope my results are very good. And then you keep looking up, praying to God to come to your rescue. In a similar situation, what happens? Portia is facing the same thing. And she is hoping that Bassanio will be, whether he would be in a position to choose the right casket. Now the Dardanian wives are compared to the people who are already there to watch, or they are the witness to this lottery system or to the case, whether Bassanio would be able to choose the right one. So they are also very nervous about the fact about whether Bassanio would be able to choose the right casket or not. So Gratiano, Nerissa and the other attendants, they are all nervous. So the same nervous atmosphere had prevailed when that legendary story, when that incident had taken place long time ago. That is the similar situation which Bassanio, Portia and the others who were present over there were experiencing. That is how she compares herself. Then she says, "Go Hercules," means live thou, live with much more dismay. I view the fight, then thou with what makest the fray. That means she is imagining what would be the consequences of this fight. Like how the people of Troy were hoping, let's hope Hercules will be able to save the princess from the sea monster. So she is anticipating how Bassanio will now choose the right casket and marry her. Then the music is being played. Remember, she says, let the music be played while he is making his choice. Now the music was being played on two occasions. One is to give him a clue which is the right casket, and the second one is to ease the tension. Okay. Now the song is, "Tell me where is fancy bred?" Means where does love dwell? Or in the heart or in the head? How begot, how nourished? Reply. Now the song says, tell me where love is dwelled, whether it is in the heart or it is in the head, or whether it is based on outward appearance. Okay. But the words that are used over here is, every last word in the line is got bread, head, shed, and the fourth one would have been led. That is the kind of a clue given to Bassanio, that if he pays heed to the last words of each sentence, will give you the clue to the right casket, that is the leaden casket. It is engendered in the eye, with gazing fed and fancied eyes. Now all the trick is based on the eyes. How the eyes get attracted towards outward appearance. Okay. It says, and then what happens? It dies from the cradle, from where it lies, from where it is born. Because the eye will only get attracted towards outward appearance. So that is what he is supposed to keep in mind, the rhyming word of each sentence, and the message which is there in the song is not to be fooled by outward appearance. That is the theme of the song. But Bassanio did not pay any attention towards the song. He was, while the song was being played, he was busy looking at the inscriptions of the golden and silver casket, and he also, like the Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon, was trying to analyze or understand the meaning, what was written in the inscription. And then on his own he felt that I should not be deceived by these outward appearance that looks very attractive from the outside. So he analyzes the golden casket first. Okay, now the golden casket means the gold is a costly and attractive metal. And many people, to show their richness, they go to buy the gold, not knowing that their lives are at great danger. So gold can be also very deceiving. But he does not look at it from the materialistic point of view, the money part of it, like the Prince of Aragon and the Prince of Morocco had. They had analyzed it through money value. And according to the casket story, Nerissa says, your father has made this device that whosoever loves you will choose the right casket, who loves you but not your money. So that is the story. Okay. Then next class I will explain how Bassanio proves that outward appearance is very deceptive or deceiving. Thank you.